Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Plus. Today we're going to be dropping into some WWE2K23 news. Alright, so really this video is just going to be a reaction video. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So this is everything breaking down the news, rivalries, cutscenes, and more for WWE2K23 Universe Mode. As you guys know, that is one of the big driving forces on this channel is Universe Mode. So I like to stay in the know, especially when it comes down to Universe Mode content, what they're dropping. So I want to let this be known right off the back that this video is from Smacktalks. All I'm doing is reacting to it, so that way I'm extending his message or whatever, to you guys. As far as the news and whatever we talk about, this isn't some scoop or source or anything that I have personally. Anything that I say will be completely opinionated, all of that. I just want to let it be known that this video is not to make money off of or anything. It's just me reacting to a video.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel where today we're talking Universe Mode in WWE2K23, as this year sees the mode receive a big update to the way rivalries are handled, where the power is now firmly in control of the play.
Ho. Alright. He's gonna explain it, so I'll let him do that, but that looks a little interesting.
To Universe Mode, but
also, I'm letting that be known too, so in this video, he's letting us know exactly like where the updates are coming from, who they're coming from, We're just reacting to it because since it's all in one fell like swoop as a source, this is where I get my source from. This is where I get my news from. For years, I've trusted Smacktalks when it comes down to like news and updates and stuff like that, at least content like that when it comes to 2K. And for me, he's been reliable. And if you guys are into my channel and if you trust me as a source, then that's who I would say to go to. So yeah.
So let's take a look at Universe Mode in WWE2K23, where jumping into the mode and selecting one of the three save slots, you'll be given the option of playing in Superstar Mode, which was the big addition last year.
They brought that back.
To play the mode controlling a single superstar, which kind of works as a single player career. Alternately, we have Classic Mode, which is the mode that we're going to focus on today, as this option gives you full control over Universe, allowing you to customize every aspect of your show. Jumping into Classic Mode, this year the main change to Universe Mode comes in the form of new rival reactions, which allow players to select cutscenes to play out during matches, which in turn allows you to steer rivalries in a certain direction.
It's gonna save me a lot of time with cutscenes, I tell you that. Man, listen, I enjoy the highlight reel more than the next guy, but doing the most basic things, I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know if I'm the only one. Like I know there's YouTubers out there who love messing around with the highlight reel, but bro, not for every little thing. Like for promos especially, I did not want to use them this year for promos. I genuinely wanted my superstar to be able to grab a mic and talk like they have for years. But anyway.
Option, when viewing a match card in Universe Mode, players can select a match and then press the right thumbstick to bring up the new rivalry action screen. On this screen, players have the ability to add an action, which when selected will bring up the action category.
So this is good for me too. So going into the road to WrestleMania for my Universe Mode, little personal thing, I started playing some of the matches just because certain rivalries for WrestleMania have to be placed a certain way in order for the show to kind of run how I expected it to run. But going after WrestleMania, we're going to be, going back to the normal way I used to make my normal 2K videos, and that's overall is the Universe Mode is CPU versus CPU base. Now, we'll have situations sometimes where like if it's a champion or something and their reign's prestigious or whatever, sometimes I will overall, like, I'll restart the match from time to time, make sure we get the correct winner, just so the story falls into place. But overall, as far as the in-game action, the spots that I called, they're all a surprise to me because I don't play the match. This will make it way more interesting if what he's saying is true. We have sportsmanship, disrespect, shutdown, cheap shot. So many of these will come into play.
To run through the categories, we have sportsmanship, which is a low-intensity category that includes options like handshakes and gestures of respect, which lead to clean and competitive rivalries. Showdown, which is a medium-intensity option, includes cutscenes that bring stars face-to-face, which is good for furthering rivalries and taking them to the next level. Disrespect brings a mixture of medium to high intensity actions, which can be used to elevate a less intense rivalry to the next level, with this category including cutscenes that show the player mocking their opponents and refusing to shake hands. Moving into the high intensity options, we have cheap shot, which includes a mixture of medium to high intensity options that see the player attacking their opponent when they least expect it. As for the most intense actions, we have the attack option, which is the highest level of intensity, and that includes brawling cutscenes and weapon attacks. To give you an example of how this works, if we select the attack option, then this will take us to a list of cutscenes that we can choose, where we're given a list of available options and a description of that particular scene. The best thing about this is that it gives you a good idea of what the cutscene includes, so that you can ensure that you pick the right one. Plus, it also gives you details of any status effects that the cutscene can trigger. As for example, if we select the mutual aggression cutscene, then you can see that this action will cause both players to start the match with moderate damage and 33% momentum on this special meter. Going back to the description of the cutscene, it also
So one thing that I'm actually very curious about, and it's for other channels like me when it comes down to the channels that do the CPU versus CPU based universe modes, or just overall channels, but mainly I'm speaking for universe mode, because I know another YouTube channel, Brendan Plays, does that too with the CPU versus CPU based content. So I noticed that he said that it'll show you specific settings right here on what to do to trigger the rival, or to trigger the situation happening in the ring. Right now, for this, the match will just start off crazy because that's just a start off. But for certain things that have to happen in the matchup, like somebody's music playing or something, like, because usually there has to be a specific thing you have to do to trigger that cutscene. I'm very curious to how that's going to play into 2K23, because I've had an issue with 2K22 and 2K20, if I'm not mistaken, when I was doing it over on a different channel, where whenever I would set like attack this person after matchup, or this person interrupt this person in the middle of matchup, it would never happen, or it would take 10 years to happen. Like, I'm curious if we can get more of a clear understanding on when situations like those will happen, so we have more of a mindset going into it, like, okay, it'll for sure happen, because there's been times where I've put it and it doesn't happen. So I'm just curious.
Some changes to the player's attributes, as the mutual aggression cutscene will increase Roman's bold trait. Taking a look at some of the other options, you can see that different cutscenes cause an increase or decrease to certain traits, which over time will see superstars begin to act different. Once you select an action to use, you'll be taken back to the rivalry screen, where your chosen action will be displayed for the superstar.
So can two people do actions?
At this point, you can choose to save the match, or...
By the way, I haven't mentioned this, but 2K, I'm seeing what you're doing with that ray tracing, and my RTX card is humming with joy.
You can opt to add a second action for the opponent, as the feature allows you to select two possible cutscenes, which is great for players that want to steer a rivalry in a certain direction, but they still want to keep an element of surprise as to which one will play out. If you select an action for both,
I don't want an element of surprise. I want full control. I want to be in gorilla, okay? I have a mind that I'm ready to unleash to the 2K community. I just need full control, 2K, okay? I don't want surprises.
With this momentum helping to sway the choice of a cutscene in the direction of the star who has the most momentum. As these rivalries are just starting out, the momentum bar for each superstar is currently 50-50, therefore selecting to play this match will see the game randomly choose one of the two cutscenes, which will then trigger as the match begins. Going back to the actions menu, if we select an action for one superstar and leave the other superstar's actions blank, the T that this action will trigger is selecting to play the match will still see the game decide which action wins based on momentum, so if the game selects the star with no action applied, then no action.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right there. It's things like that. Now, something that I don't know if it's going to be here. I doubt it. They never do it, but I'm not going to jinx it, but I'm kind of going to call it out before I see it. So if I see it, I get surprised. So here we go. One thing I pray they will add is at least for the CPU versus CPU based stuff, for people, aside from universe mode channels, for people who have like storylines that they want to see play out a certain way, set it to where you can choose a certain superstar to win, because they just said it right there to where like that action might not play out depending on if that person's, if that person doesn't have a lot of momentum going into the pay-per-view. The reason why I'm choosing for him to do this is so he can gain some momentum. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't like that whole, it might happen. I'm just like, if I set this person needs to happen right after matchup, that's exactly what I want to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like one of those things, like, I just wish we had full control over it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I know what I'm asking for is more of a GM mode, and if it's like you want to play GM mode, but it's like, I like universe mode. I like the stories of universe mode, and I like what people can make with universe mode if they just had full control, or it comes up in the future or something.
Over the cutscenes that play, there is an option for free mode, which when enabled will disable the momentum bar and instead allow you to load straight into the match with a chosen action, which is great for players that want to see a specific cutscene, as this gives you complete control over how that action plays out.
Okay, I'm still leaving everything in this video because Everything I said I meant, and I'm not going to be one of those fake people who talk shit and then cut it out. I meant what I said, and I'm happy that it's corrected because this has been an issue. Complete control is what I asked for. I'm happy that that's a thing. Thank you.
One of the best things about this new feature is that players now have the ability to start a rivalry between certain superstars and determine which kind of rivalry plays out. As for example, if you want to create a storyline that sees a tag team break up, then you can select a cutscene like the pompous tag team partner option that sees both stars begin to argue over who starts the match, as this option will increase a player's disrespectful and treacherous traits, which in turn, running through the match card, you can see that the rivalry actions aren't available for all matches, as there are some limitations, as it's only possible to select rivalry actions for single and tag team matches.
Okay, what about title matches?
Doesn't appear to support triple threat or any matches involving more than 4 players.
That's fine.
As for extra options, well, I didn't.
What about title matches? As long as it does it for title matches, I'm fine, because you can select a run out or a run in action as far as somebody coming out and attacking somebody after the match for any fucking matchup except for a title match. What if I want somebody to make a debut after a title match and that's how I want them to do it? I can't do that now because you didn't give me the out. Now I gotta go to Expedition and I gotta freaking go to the highlight reel. It's just so much work.
There were additional cutscenes when customizing title matches, so it looks like we'll also get some champion-specific cutscenes that see players interrupt and challenge the champion, or perhaps even an open challenge. So that's the rivalry actions feature and all the options there. However, in terms of other new features, there's not a lot that stood out. Scrolling through the universe options, a lot of the options that are there remain the same, though some good news is that players can select to play Wargames matches in universe mode. However, the one caveat to that is that you can only hold the match in one of the Wargames arenas. Therefore, if you try to set up a Wargames match on another show like Money in the Bank, then when you select to play that match, it'll load the match in the Wargames arena. As for any other changes, when editing a show, I did notice that the show elements now have a lot more options and
okay, that kind of sucks. It's not like or it's not like the other 2K games where you can get away with like the elimination chamber, like changing that arena and stuff. You can't do that with War Games. Damn, that kind of sucks. I mean, it's whatever. The 2022 War Games arena was nice, so I don't mind using it for my universe mode, but I know some people like doing custom universe mode.
Limited. However, this year there's a lot more in there, and there's also a downloaded content tab included for DLC, which would suggest that we'll see new arena content bundled with the DLC packs, though so far there's been no mention of any DLC arenas.
Wait,
bundled with the DLC.
I announced that I'm doing a King of the Ring for my universe mode. I didn't know that arena
no mention.
was oh my god, thank you Lord, that arena is there. I thought I had to make the arena from scratch, bro. Okay.
One other change that I noticed was the removal of the Undertaker's WrestleMania rivalry. As scrolling through the universe options, this option is no longer present, though I guess that change is due to the Undertaker no longer being an active superstar.
Yeah.
To answer some questions on
but
universe
still,
mode, one question that I have
it's
seen
a classic
frequently
thing, you
was
know,
in regards to premium live events and whether WrestleMania is held over 2 days. Though from checking out the calendar menu, WrestleMania is still a 1-day event, so if you want to have it take place over 2 days, then you'll have to set up a second show and maybe set the first show to use the Raw roster and the second show to use SmackDown. So that's a run through of Universe mode. Unfortunately, I didn't get time to try out Superstar mode, so I don't know if there's much change there.
It's straight, dude. Thank you, Smacktalks.
Universe, the main change is the rivalry options, which I think makes for a really good addition, as I've wanted the ability to set up a specific rivalry with certain storylines and superstars for years, but it's always been down to the AI which cutscenes would play, so now finally having that option to go in there and set up the type of rivalry that I want is a really good addition. I also think looking to the future, this feature is probably the first step towards bringing back Create a Story, or at least adding some of those elements into Universe mode, so I'm really intrigued.
That Create a Story mode was gas.
2K24. So that's an overview of the updates to Universe mode and how the new...
Yo, not gonna lie, I don't know, Smacktalks, I don't know if you're gonna see this video, by the way, great job on the video, but I don't know if you sped up the loading screens in between or not, but if they're actually that fast, straight W, because that's been like one of my biggest gripes with 2K games is like the loading times are super long, and it's just like, oh my god. But if this means that they're fixed and they're faster, then hey, I'm all here for it. Like everything I said in this video is exactly how I felt. Everything I said in this video is exactly how I feel going forward into WWE2K23. I'm a big fan of 2K. I'm a big fan of WWE. But the one thing that you guys will never see me do on this channel is kind of like like bullshit you guys, I guess you can say. I want to be honest with you guys. I want to be 100% with you guys. This was my feelings going into universe mode on more of a behind the scenes on how I react to the stuff we get in universe mode, and this is just how I feel about it. And thank God we're getting the changes that we're getting, because I think it's not only going to make a better product for me to be able to give to you guys, but it's going to be just an overall better product for everybody else in the 2K series overall. So thank you guys. Thank you 2K for dropping the updates and the news. I appreciate it. Thank you Smacktalks, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.